In the previous video, I showed you on how you can connect a spot trading bot, but in this one, I'll be showing you on how we can add leverage as well. So we're going to be automating this indicator, Crodl Nitro, and we're going to automate it to BTC USDT using leverage. Now on the bot, assuming you already know how to connect everything, because I did show you that in the previous videos, or you can find more info on our docs, which is at docs.crodltrading.com. All the links will be in the description of this video. You can just follow through and look for the steps you may be struggling with, or if you want more clarity, then you can find it right there. So on the board, you'll see we can create a new one, and we're going to call this Nitro, since that's the indicator we're using. And also for this example, I'll be using Bybit. We can select the key we have connected, and then we're going to be selecting futures, and we should get this pop-up. Now it's important that your futures type matches the one on Bybit. So if you go to their website and we go to derivatives, USDT, perpetual, and then the symbol, you should be able to see the settings button right there. And then you'll see position mode, which is hedge mode. Now, if you change this to one-way mode, you need to make sure that it's also going to be one-way mode here in your bot. So I'm going to be using hedge, and you'll also see that they have this option to change all the USDT pairs at once. This makes it simple, so you don't have to go to each one individually. Now, since it's set on hedge, our bot will just change right here. We're going to select hedge, and the symbol will be BTC USDT, all in capital. Create bot, and we should see it right here. Now, if we enter this bot, we can just confirm everything here on the top left, which is the details and the symbol. If we go to triggers open, the first one we would need to create a trigger on is going to be our long. Now this indicator does have a lot of different options, so you need to match it to your indicator, or if you're not using this one, just to make sure that the logic makes sense, so that you have a long trigger on your long alert condition and you have a short one on your short trigger. And also keep in mind that the indicator and the bot can handle exits. Now with leverage trading, there are two different types of exits that we can talk about when it's just basically your take profit and stop loss. If we go to the bot, you'll notice if you create a trigger, there is a take profit and a stop loss built into the bot. Now this take profit and stop loss will actually place the take profit and stop loss on the exchange itself. But if you use the option to close, then this means you'll be closing it indicator based. So if you have an open position, it's going to wait for alert to trigger to close that position. That is to say you don't have any take profit and stop loss closed, or opposite side close is false. Now we're going to be using the take profit and stop loss off, with the close, because we're using RSI exit. So it's going to be random. It's not a fixed percentage. But if you were using fixed percentages, then you can just use the ones built in. I do cover this in the previous videos. Now I'm going to go ahead and we're going to select the first one, which is going to be a buy. I'm going to be using isolated leverage of 10x. The quantity type is going to be percentage, and I'm going to use 50% of my account. And that's it that I'm going to set for this trigger. So I'm going to go ahead and create this open trigger. We're just going to be doing the exact same thing for the shorts. So we're just going to say sell, the leverage type also isolated with 10x. We're going to be opening up also 50% of our wallet, and that's it. So if I create this, now I have both entries and exits. Now, both long and short entries. For the close, we're going to go to trigger close, and we're going to select close right here. This is going to be simple because I'm going to be closing 100% of my position, and this is going to be a close long. So if I create this trigger, we can just quickly do the same thing for the shorts. So we're going to say close. It's going to be a market. We're going to say percentage 100. And now we're going to close the short. So I'm just going to create this, and we should see both of them here. Now to test this, I think my camera is in the way again, so you can see there's going to be a green button. That is to manually test the triggers, and it simulates what TradingView would do. So if we take a look, we currently have no open trade right here. But if we go for a buy, it gives us confirmation and we confirm it. We now see that the bot received that buy. And then on the exchange, you will see that it should appear right here. And now we have a buy, but again, no take profit and stop loss is in here because we didn't set it. We're going to be setting it with the webhook. Now, the way the webhook would work is I'm also just going to be pushing out that one manually so I can show you how it works. But if I go ahead and I trigger this close long, which would be simulating what our take profit or stop loss would do on the indicator, it would close this position for us. So that's basically how it works. So it's you configure on how you want to close it. Now I'm going to show you on how to connect the triggers to the indicator. So on the board, we'll select this gray button for the long first to copy our long trigger ID. And we're going to go to the indicator and paste that under the long input box. And now we're just going to do the same thing for the short. Make sure you're under open to make sure you're opening the position. And then we are going to place that for the short. Now, since again we're using RSI exits, we want to make use of this trigger close. The first one would be is to close our long position, and we're going to paste that in right there. And then to close the short, we're going to copy that ID and we'll paste it in right there. Now this is basically all we need to set up, since all the logic is already programmed in this indicator. If you're using your own indicator, you need to make sure that your indicator support alerts and is correctly configured to the like buys and sells on your chart. So I'm going to click OK. And now what we need to do is we need to create a new alert. So I'm going to open up this one, and we want to make sure that we are selecting Crodl Nitro. And again, like mentioned for the sport video, if there's more than one indicator in this list, it means that your settings on your chart and the alert that it's on is outdated. So since this is our first alert, it most likely won't be two in this list. But if you edit the alert later on and you see two of them, it means you've changed something in your settings that you haven't updated your alerts on. So I'm going to select this, and now we're going to clear everything out in this message box. And you want to make sure to do the following. You want to use this double curly brackets. Then you want to type in strategy dot order dot alert underscore message. Now this is going to be pulling the message, the trigger ID that you've set in the settings, and it's going to send that to the board as soon as the alert fires. Now the way to connect this alert to the board is under notifications. You will see this webhook URL. Now this is the webhook URL you need to use, and if you don't know where to find it on the board, you can just copy it right here. So if you copy that, it will say the webhook has been copied. You just paste it in there and then it's set. So as soon as I create this alert now, just like that, we have basically set up our automated trading. Because if there's going to be a long alert, it's going to enter the long for us. If there's going to be an exit, it's going to exit a trade for us. And the same thing for the shorts, because we've set up both triggers. Now, if you want to go to your board, you can also check the logs and also the orders that it's taken. So this is the ones that we tested with, so we can just verify that this is, we didn't set a take profit and stop loss. But if we did, we would be able to see it here. And then also when we tested closing that buy, that order is also here. And the same thing I showed you in the other video where we connect Telegram. These triggers have been sent to my Telegram account because that has been connected. Now, I hope you guys enjoyed all these videos on how you can automate your trading from TradingView. And again, if you guys need support or you have any questions, you can leave them in the comments of this video, or you can join our Discord because I'm mostly active there. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoy this, and I will see you in the next videos.